He's in the Philippines in the intervening 13 months. Here's a closer look with Larry Merchant at Manny Pacquiao.
As the most popular athlete in the Philippines, he has been a target of political guerrillas who twice try to kidnap him. They are assumed to be associated with Al-Qaeda. He has 6 bodyguards when he's in the Philippines. 4 for himself, 2 for his children when they are in school. His last fight, just a couple of months ago, he carried his opponent at the request of the television people so they could get more ads into the show. He let his guard down and got knocked down, and then he got up and won by a knockout.
This is a tantalizing style matchup because both men are big punchers. Pacquiao is a headhunter. Lucero is a body punisher. Here's a closer look with Larry Merchant.
As a boy in the Mexico City, he says his mother was an original street fighter, a volatile temper, disagree with her, and she'd settle it with her fists. He too became a street fighter, but he did it for money. At the age of 10 and 11, he was getting paid $10 for street fights by a local promoter. And should he ever win the title, he would become a true cheese champion, or give it at least a new meaning, because he works in an Italian deli in the Bronx where he makes mozzarella.
Beyond capacity crowd in the Olympic, they're psyched and ready. Here's ring announcer Michael Buffer with the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Grand Olympic Auditorium here in downtown Los Angeles, California, where tonight Main Events is proud to present an evening of professional boxing for your entertainment. Brought to you in association with Miller Lite, the Mandalay Bay Resort Casino of Las Vegas, and HBO Sports. These bouts are sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission. First bout is presented in association with Murad Mohammed M&M Sports. The 3 judges at ringside scoring this contest will be Gwen Adair. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 12 rounds of boxing for the IBF Junior Featherweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing gold, blue, and gray, officially weighing 121 1/4 pounds. His professional record, 21 victories, including 12 knockouts, and he has 1 bout even. He's now fighting out of the Bronx in New York, but he is originally from Ciudad de Mexico. Damas y caballeros, here is the undefeated challenger, Emmanuel Lucero. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing red trimmed with black. He officially weighs 120 pounds. His professional record, 36 victories, including 27 knockouts, with only 2 defeats and 1 draw. From General Santos City, Philippines, ladies and gentlemen, the defending IBF Junior Featherweight Champion of the World, Manny Pacquiao.
Stop.
Gentlemen, I already gave you first instructions of the dressing room. Do you have any questions? Questions, lots of come back with the belt. Good luck.
Manny Pacquiao is one of the rare southpaws that's fun to watch, although Lucero undoubtedly will have a different perspective on that.
Yeah, Larry, I think Manny Pacquiao is one of the best fighters in the world, pound for pound. What I've saw, we can do a little bit of everything.
Lucero gets low and tries to get to the body. Swings wide, but with force. Pacquiao is a devastating over-the-top puncher who's best when he remembers to throw his jab, but often forgets and just engages toe-to-toe. Part of Pacquiao's job here, Emmanuel, is to remember to box, but he's basically been separated from trainer Freddie Roach for 13 months. How can Roach get him to do what he needs him to do with virtually no contact with the fighter?
Well, the fact that he's worked with him before will help somewhat, but in addition to not working with Freddie, which he should have, he's been getting in a lot of trouble and not training properly, according to the reports we've been getting from the Philippines.
which he denies, we should point out.
There was a report of one barroom brawl, and Pacquiao said, oh, no, just a couple of beer bottles that broke, apparently without help.
Well, if you read between the reports, which I'm quite sure we did, I believe there's some truth to some of that.
Lucero gets off a moment with Pacquiao pinned in the corner, and the crowd responds. Lucero, originally from Mexico City, will have the support of this largely Mexican-American audience in the Olympics.
Very unusual to have a Mexican that comes from New York. But nevertheless, he is a Mexican, and the Mexican crowd has responded tremendously to him, even though Pacquiao trained here in Los Angeles.
Pacquiao trying to generate a rhythm in round one.
He's having a problem getting close to Lucero, but Lucero's getting so low, but then he can't operate too effectively himself from that position without telegraphing.
Now Pacquiao manages to land a straight left hand. Hasn't made his jab effective so far. It's going to be difficult to do that if Lucero continues to fight in this exaggerated crouch.
Yeah, it's almost like a crab where he's dropping it extremely low. And actually, according to the rules, you're not supposed to go below your opponent's waistline, which he's did on a few occasions.
Now Pacquiao straightens him up with a left hand, and Pacquiao pins him against the ropes. Lucero trying to duck everything.
He's ducking, but he can't operate too effective himself from down there.
No, it's impossible to mount a counter offense when that's your defensive strategy, is to get that low.
That's right, and I think Pacquiao is starting to get his distance on it down.
Pacquiao managing to do most of the damage here in an odd and awkward first round.
Yeah, and he's trying to time the bob and weave and trying to shoot his left uppercut now as he sees him going down.
Lucero, increasingly defensive, hasn't thrown that many punches in the second half of the round. As we go to the corners, there will be interpreters in both corners. In Pacquiao's corner, where they will be speaking the Filipino native language of Tagalog, our interpreter is Ernie Kalua.
Don't get excited and don't take your time, okay? You want to take your time with this shot, okay? Now use your face. When you face him, he'll bend into the shot, okay? Here, I want you to bend your knees and look for the body shot, okay?
Okay, campeón.
Champ, that wasn't our plan. Our plan is to
And here in Lucero's corner, where Fermin Santion will speak Spanish, our interpreter's Ray Torres.
You got to move your head. Throw your hands on the bottom and the top. And a straight right hand to the head.
Lucero may have fought in that style in the first round, simply dealing with a case of nerves. He's never been in a fight against a major fighter.
CompuBox numbers in round one. Pacquiao landing 16 out of 64, including 7 of 29 jabs. Lucero was only 5 of 41. If Manny can keep finding a way to throw nearly 30 jabs in the round, I'm not sure how Lucero is going to get at him effectively, Emmanuel.
No, Lucero can't do too much effectively, and especially when it comes to throwing combinations. When you crouch that low, you can basically spring with one punch, and after that, you've lost your balance usually.
Lucero was supremely confident in his discussions with us yesterday. May have underestimated the hand speed of Pacquiao, as some opponents do.
Yeah, Pacquiao's got a lot of experience. Don't forget, he's a 2-time world champion, and he's had a lot of experience. And he's gradually following the instructions of his cornerman, Freddie Roach, which is basically to jab, take your time, relax, and trigger his man out. I don't think he's going to be able to hit him to the body that effective, though.
Pacquiao taking advantage of a slow break at the end of that clinch to hit Lucero with a left hand over the top. Seems to have momentarily stunned Lucero. Now Pacquiao tries to continue the attack.
As the fight goes on, Lucero's going to pull his head up more and more because he's going to find himself very much out of the fight when he's bobbing and weaving that low.
Well, not to mention that it's going to be physically exhausting for him to try to stay down in that crouch.
Absolutely.
Here's a 3-punch combination by Lucero, one of the first multiple punch combinations he's tried in the fight. Lucero's hands look slow in this round. Body shot by Pacquiao and a big left hand. Again with the body. Lucero just taking the punishment and trying to duck away.
And it's very physically tiresome when you're bobbing and weaving that low also. And everything that's happening on top of your back and on your shoulders tires you out a lot more.
Lucero won a lot of amateur fights with this style. Golden Glove championships, New York State amateur championships. He must have just overwhelmed people.
When you have a guy fight punch swinging like that, the best thing, make him miss completely. That way he loses his balance. You don't block his punches. You just let him miss completely.
Pacquiao lands the straight left hand again. Fight has been one-sided in terms of meaningful contact, as virtually all of the real scoring blows have been landed by Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao's trainer, Freddie Roach, argues that his 122-pound fighter, struggling to make weight, would be a threat to knock out 126-pound kingpins Eric Morales and Marco Antonio Barrera. Your take?
I think he would definitely be a threat for both of those guys.
Mark your calendars. Meanwhile, August 16, Boxing After Dark returns with a featherweight unification bout between Derek Gainer and Juan Manuel Marquez. August 21 on HBO Latino. Tune in for the next Oscar De La Hoya presents Boxeo de Oro featuring Jose Navarro. September 13 on HBO pay-per-view, it's the highly anticipated rematch between Oscar De La Hoya, Oscar De La Hoya, and Shane Mosley. Mosley won the first meeting by split decision 3 years ago. HBO Boxing for 30 years, building legends, one round at a time.
Okay, you don't like the body shot, you hear me? Legs up against the body, back with the knife.
You gotta be lively now.
Notice that Freddie Roach is speaking English to Manny Pacquiao between rounds, and Pacquiao increasingly fluent in English, able to understand him, so we're not hearing from interpreter Ernie Kalua for the moment. CompuBox numbers in 2. Pacquiao, great round, 31 out of 66. Lucero, virtually non-existent, 4 out of 42. Pacquiao landing nearly 60% of his power shots through the first 2 rounds. And there's more accurate punching from Manny Pacquiao against a pretty tough target to find. Finally, Lucero gets in a counter left.
Even if Lucero lands a punch, it may look impressive the way he swings. I don't think it's going to hurt Pacquiao because you can see it coming. Punches that you see coming don't hurt you. The punches that you don't see that hurt you.
Now, you can tell when Pacquiao's supremely confident. He fights with a little smile on his face, and he's been grinning through most of the first 2 rounds here, feeling as though he's in control against Emmanuel Lucero. And after that punch, he is totally in control, and the referee instantly stops the fight.
He was out on his feet with a punch that landed right on the point of the jaw.
Jose Cobian taking no chances whatsoever, no count, immediate knockout on a punch that didn't even send Lucero to the canvas, but you saw the
nerves
weaving
was going in
response.
his legs, yeah. I would have probably liked to have saw it a little longer than that, but I think eventually would have been a knockout anyway.
Well, I don't think there's any question. Yeah, Larry.
Well, Lucero had a great style if people were throwing coins into the ring and he was trying to pick them up. But it was not a style on this level of prize fighting.
No, I thought Pacquiao looked very good, too.
But I'll give Pacquiao credit because he took his time. He saw what the story was, immediately went to the body, and inevitably there was going to be a shot to the chin.
And Pacquiao, the Filipino star, very comfortable in L.A. You can see there's the left hand that starts to Lucero standing up.
He never saw the punch coming. It was too low to even see it coming. He thought he was probably out of danger by getting that low.
Gives you a pretty good idea as to how heavy are Manny Pacquiao's hands.
Yes, and he's good focus and concentration, too.
And the referee stoppage was aimed at protecting Lucero from another shot, because Lucero was a sitting duck target there for Pacquiao.
Yeah. Pacquiao was timing his movement, and in just a matter of time, he timed exactly where he figured he would move his head, and he moved right into position.
So Manny Pacquiao stretches his record to 37 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw. How long will he remain in the 122-pound division? When will he move up and look for big money against much bigger names at 126.
Well, whenever he does decide to move up, I would take him as a serious threat to all of the featherweights up there.
All right, let's go to Michael Buffer for the official particulars on this TKO.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jose Cobian has to call a halt to the bout. The official time, 48 seconds of round number 3. The winner by TKO victory and still the IBF Junior Featherweight Champion of the world, Manny Pacquiao.
All right, let's take a look at some CompuBox numbers which will demonstrate Manny Pacquiao's total dominance in this fight. Landing 56 punches to only 13 for Lucero. Throwing 48 more. Pretty good connect percentage of 38%. Remembered to throw his jab as he was supposed to do. And we'll take a look at power punches. Pacquiao ultimately blowing Lucero out of there, mostly with the straight left hand, landing 40 out of 89, 45%. And the knockout punch was a big straight left. Larry Merchant stands by with 122-pound king of the world, Manny Pacquiao.
All right, thank you very much, Jim. Congratulations, Manny. When you saw him come out with that style in which he was bending at his waist almost down to the canvas, what was your first thought?
Nung makita mong mababa ang kanyang strategy, anong ginawa mo pag-iisip?
Relax and be careful to his overhand.
So he was saying you would to be careful of his overhand. Did he look like an amateur to you, and you felt that it was just a very short time until you were able to connect?
Mukhang bagito pa at kayang-kaya mo?
I saw in the tape his fight before. I said I know I can beat him knockout before.
All right. So you've scored a knockout. Where does Manny Pacquiao go now? Do you want to fight somebody like Paulie Ayala or some other top 122-pounder, or do you want to go right to the featherweight limit at 126?
Kung nangyaring nanalo ka, gusto mo bang labanan, tumaas ka, labanan sa Ayala o featherweight, ano bang plano mo?
First of all, I want to fight Barrera, especially Barrera and Paulie Ayala, and anytime I'm ready, and anybody in featherweight division.
Thank you very much. Again, congratulations, Manny. You heard Jim, his preferences for Paulie Ayala, but he'll fight anybody in the featherweight divisions, and anybody he fights is in for a fight.